It's imperative that we track down the leader of this cult.
But how? If they've already hit every place in your journal.
There are several places. We need to beat them to these locations. Considering how we lost a student last time, we must be very cautious. Everyone will travel in pairs. Kyle, Jaden, you'll be going to Vijun.
Vijun? Isn't that just a big dead rock?
It also happens to be the location of one of my father's strongholds.
Okay, so it's a big, dead, important rock.
Stream, you and Teal.
This ought to be interesting. I'd heard rumors that Luke had been to Vijun, but he never really talked about it.
Vijun is dangerous. The dark side is strong there. Oppressive. Be extremely careful.
Sure, Luke. Don't worry.
It's imperative that we track down the leader of this cult.
But how? If they've already hit every place in your journal.
There are several places I didn't mention in the names that they've discovered. My fear is that they may use clues. We need to beat them to these locations. Considering how we lost a student last time, we must be very cautious. Everyone will travel in pairs. Kyle, Jaden, you'll be going to Vijun.
Vijun? Isn't that just a big dead rock?
It also happens to be the location of one of my father's strongholds.
Okay, so it's a big, dead, important rock.
Streen, you and Teal.
This ought to be interesting. I'd heard rumors that Luke had been to Vijun, but he never really talked about it.
Here we will train you in the ways of the Force. You will learn to defend yourself with a lightsaber. You will also study diplomacy, history, It has been the practice of the Jedi to assign each student to a master. However, since there are still so few of us, we will be assigning multiple students to one master. So, Ralph Aaron, you will be assigned to Master.
I can't wait to begin my training.
Rosh Pennon, you will be assigned to Master Katarn. Jaden Kor, you'll also work with Master Katarn. Now, let's begin with your first lessons. And may the Force be with you.
And there was nothing. The area around the temple felt strange, like its dark side aura was gone.
Troubling. But let's look into this later. Your students are ready to get started.
Master Katarn, it's an honor to be serving under you.
First off, just call me Kyle. Titles make my skin crawl. Secondly, you're not serving on... We looked everywhere after getting free, but Tavion had already taken Rosh and fled.
So now we know who is leading this cult. But that doesn't explain why there are so many dark forces.
Some of Kassan's leftover reborn were with her. As for the cultists, Jaden has a theory.
If the scepter can store the Force, maybe it can release it too. Tavion could be using it to empower her followers.
Corrupting disciples with the dark side of the Force. That would explain a lot. Did you get a good look at the scepter?
Yeah, I bet it belonged to Ragnos. We need to figure out what Tavion plans on doing with it if we're going to stop her.
Agreed. You are going to need to build a new lightsaber to replace the one you lost. While we try to figure out what Tavion's next move, that we track down the leader of this cult.
But how? If they've already hit every place in your...
Several places I didn't mention by name that they've discovered, like Dagobah. My fear is that they may use clues in my journal to discover other places. We need to beat them to these locations. Considering how we lost a student last time, we must be very cautious. Everyone will travel in pairs. Kyle, Jaden.
June? Isn't that just a big dead rock?
It also happens to be the location of one of my father's strongholds.
Okay, so it's a big dead important rock.
Stream, you and Tio.
This ought to be interesting. I'd heard rumors that Luke had been to Vijun, but he never really talked about it.
Vijun is dangerous. The dark side is strong there. Oppressive. Be extremely careful.
Sure, Luke. Don't worry.